And I'm back. My second live today. I forgot to. Well, I guess I wanted to do this separate. This won't be nothing but a 10-minute video. Um, and I just wanted to show that they have this new research coming out that's vast and deep and very comprehensive. Okay. I've told people to get ahead of the curve. And I want to give a shout out to who sent this link in the chat of my previous live. I'm having a brain freeze. I can't think of your name. I'll give you a shout out. My next video. Not was it not real? But anyway, somebody put the link. So after my live, I went and checked it out. Right, exactly what I was talking about. So just to prep this, and I'm going to show people right now. And I put the two links in the description. One link is of the research being done that's going to be coming out, and another link is of the research institution who's doing the research, right? Called URAC Research. It's not no Middle Eastern or North African people. It's a conglomerate of people doing the research. It's African, sub-Saharan African doctors of today, doctors in Switzerland, doctors in Germany, doctors in Italy. A conglomerate of people are putting together a study of the new finds they have from Egypt, and it's going to be a complete. And they mentioned the previous Abusir study, how incomplete it was, and it only showed a certain time period in certain geographical area. I told y'all get it correct. So I'm gonna show you what I've been meaning about the new DNA coming out, and in the next year or the year after, people gonna say we should have listened to Chief X and got ahead of the curve. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. That nigga Chief X was right about everything the whole time. Let me show you. So I've been telling people for the last 8 months this research is coming. I'm so it's been snippets of this guy on Twitter shot out some snippets of it. This some white guy on Twitter that was just showing everything, not in sub-Saharan Africans' favor, not even Nubians' favor. I'm telling you, watch. Let me share my screen. This is gonna be a 10-minute video. Bear with me, y'all. What's up, Chef and Donnie? Let me share my screen, and get this over with. I put the links in the chat, and I just wanna. We got to do this. You got to know. This is gonna have Afrocentrics shaking in their boots when they know this is coming, and when they see it, I don't need to share my system audio, but I'll do it anyway. Okay, here we go, people. Okay, let's go. Let me blow my screen up. It's about what I always talk about. You guys be on some color shit and dark skin, light skin, and I keep telling you, all that shit varies. That's a stupid argument to talk about if they were dark skin, if they were light skin. It's about population genetics. Because intelligent people already know there's dark skinned people, there's light skinned people. There's people like Sarah Student said it, there's people like me, middle. And there's people like Wesley Snarp, light. But we're all black. We all come from the same kind of geographical area. Color varies. Stop arguing that shit with people. Here we go. It's about population genetics. And guess what? I've always been saying this, and guess what this is called? Pop genetic ancient Egypt. See, you can't get away when it's specific like that. Let these people argue color all day long. Stop playing that color game because they want you when they say dark, they want to attribute that to themselves. But they don't want to contribute dark to someone who just may be an Arab or Berber, right? So they play this dark color on you game. Stop arguing that. Okay, here we go. This is UREC Research is the people, right? Who's doing the deep research. Institute and Centers. Institute for what? Mummy Studies Project. There's a project that is currently going on. I'm making my screen too big, but it's a mummy study project. Population genetics, ancient Egypt, right? Let me make my screen smaller. Okay? Population genetics, ancient Egypt. Life and death in ancient Egypt computed tomographic and paleogenetic examinations for the reconstruction of living conditions, diseases, and the ancestry of Egyptian mummies, right? So you have some Italiano, English, Dutch, German. So it's a group of Europeans and Africans all work on this project, what it's going to take. Right here it says what? Project duration June 2021 through February 2025. Now, the Abasir project, it was a project that they worked on for a time and then they tell you the results. People, scientists do complete jobs, so they don't just come out with the info until the project is complete. There's been people putting out snippets. There's a guy on Twitter. I should have shared that with y'all earlier. I got the links, and it's like West Asia, like it's like crazy. You guys are gonna be mad. Anyway, project duration from June 2021 through February 2025. That's when the project will be complete. February 2025. They've been 2 years into it. Project status ongoing. Funding they get internal funding UREC project, right? In this project, we aim to investigate the population genetics, history of Egypt using ancient DNA analysis. For this, Egyptian mummies and skeletal remains housed in the collections of the Museo Egizio of Turin and the Egyptian Museum and Papyrus collection of the Stalici Museum, such and such in Berlin, will be analyzed, right? These specimens encompass a time span, this is important. These specimens encompass a time span of about 5,000 years, from 4,000 BC up until 800 AD. People, listen to me. Let me get my tablet on. I got to explain this to you guys. Because I told you, and you think, technology changes, information changes with time. You run into new things and you find new things. And I don't know how you guys thinking you guys gonna get away with claiming this forever. Eventually, the shit gonna hit the fan on you. Um, Hold on. I'm trying to make sure I got it on my tablet. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so these specimens encompass a time span of about 5,000 years. So they got deep, comprehensive DNA analysis and information from pre-dynastic times. Oh, meaning we're going to tell you about the people before the Egyptian dynasties began, which was 3100 BC. They going back almost 1,000 years before first Egyptian dynasty. 1,000 years is a long time. So when they show you 1,000 years, who these people come from and where they come from and migrate from, shut your mouth and just bend the knee. It's coming. These Egypt, okay, from 4,000 BC up until now, right? And have been recovered from various archaeological sites in Egypt. Thus, the data obtained by this project will, for the first time, cover all periods of ancient Egyptian history, as well as a broad geographical context. So it's covering every time frame of Egyptian history, from pre-dynastic times up until 800 AD, and what? A broad geographical context, meaning a broad geographical area of Egypt, because over the several years they've been finding and being able to advance DNA science to be able to figure this shit out now. To all specimens high throughout sequences methods. Okay, no, I'm sorry. To all specimens high, I don't know how to pronounce that. Throughput sequencing methods, including DNA hybridization, capture techniques, will be applied. These are new techniques, people, to reconstruct mitochondrial genomes and for specimens exhibiting good DNA preservation at also whole genome data sets. Y'all in trouble. Whole genome data sets. Thereby, this project will investigate the genetic history of Egypt, not only in a uniparental level, based on the maternal line, but also on a genomic wide scale. They about to break it and bust it all down. Furthermore, in collaboration with the University of Lausanne in Switzerland, so it's not some shit where y'all can say, "Oh, it's Dr. Hawass. He's biased and lying. He's making up this stuff." No, these is white folk and black folk from around the world. You know, sometimes, like I remember Kobe had to get some surgery. Sometimes they send a motherfucker to a specialist to get this type of surgery in Germany. They may send you to Cuba because this doctor specializes in this. So they'll send you to Cuba to see this doctor who specializes this and that. It's the same thing with DNA and anthropology. They utilize people from all over the world who specialize in different areas. So this project is being this is a project that's worldwide. So you can't say this man is biased, they made that up. No, shut your mouth. Science spoke. Some of the mummies will be examined by means of computerized tomography, CT, and the framework and methodological tests. In particular, the test aims to assess the applicability of two sex determination methods, the Issue Public Index. They just gonna go deep. I'm just saying. So now look, ancient DNA research. This is all these people do. Ancient Egypt, excuse me, Egypt has been home to one of the earliest great human civilizations. Throughout the history of spanning several millennia, this civilization had numerous interactions. I can read better than Ankh, can't I? Let me stop. Interactions with populations in Africa, Europe, and Western Asia. They're telling you it had interactions with Africa, Europe, and Western Asia, including international trade, military campaigns, which I've done plenty of presentations on military campaigns the Egyptians ran, foreign invasions they're going to go into, and foreign rule. Apart from cultural influence, these interactions likely also shaped the genetic composition of Egyptians' population and thus make Egyptian an interesting setting for population genetics studies. It's only about population genetics. Don't let them take you away from that. That's what they don't want to deal with. They want to deal with who was dark or who was light bullshit. Okay? However, only during the last decade, due to technological improvements, I'm trying to tell you, family, there's improvements. There's new tactics on the line. However, during the last decade, this is new shit. Due to technological improvements, such as the development of high throughput sequencing, I don't know what that is. You can look it up. HTS methods, right? Genetic studies have succeeded in the retrieval and assessment of the authentic DNA obtained from ancient Egyptian mummies in skeletal material. God damn it, they advanced on technology on skeletal material, which is like the dagger of it all. As a result, genetic data for the contemporary population of ancient Egypt remains scarce. So they're telling you right here about the Abusur, how it was a scarce a study, even though it wasn't in sub-Saharan Africans' favor, it was still in Egyptians' favor, but it was a scarce study, right? It wasn't inclusive of everything in every dynasty, so they're admitting that in this new study, but these are different people anyway. As a result, genetic data for the contemporary population of Egypt remains scarce. In addition, available genome data sets date almost exclusively to the periods of the New Kingdom to 1064. This is what these niggas was crying about. It only covered this period and only found it in this area. It still wasn't in your favor, but they're letting you know. Now, resulting in a lack of information, they said, for the older periods of ancient Egyptian history. Furthermore, these datasets have been obtained almost exclusively from a single archaeological site in northern Egypt and may thus not be representative for all of ancient Egypt. This is how scientists are always honest. They're telling you what Afrocentrics tried to lean on. It may not represent for all of ancient Egypt. You guys are right, but it wasn't in your favor, but it just did not represent all of ancient Egypt. Okay, to address these issues, we got your ass now, is what they said. To address these issues, this project will focus on a large scale of genetic study on the collections of the such and such in Turin, the Egyptian Museum and Papyrus collection of the whichever. Okay, okay. So they got shit from 5,000 years ago. This is an in-depth study, new technology, right? Um, the project, which I told you from 2021 to 2025, will investigate Egypt's population genetic history, not only uniparentally based on the material. Okay, now let me end this. They also got this anthropological analysis using CT scans, right? All kind of new methods is about to jump off. Um, it says, therefore, this study will provide further insights into the possibilities and limitations about mummies. Okay, related research projects, and we're going to end this. The population genetic study, as well as the methodological tests performed within this project, constitute an addition to the interdisciplinary scientific investigation of the collections of. I'm just reading this for the first time. No, this is the second time I'm reading it. But I don't want to keep reading it and bore you. Now, the publications on this, you can look it up yourself. There's someone doing something on the atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease in mummies, right? And here's the scholar's information if you want to look him up and check out what he's found so far. Here it is, a genetic study of ancient Egyptian human remains dating from the what? Pre-dynastic period to the early Islamic period, right? His name is Mauser Wurst. Sounds like a German. Maxiner, Zink. It's a couple. These are scholars. Presentation, speech, conference, New Horizon, and biomolecular. You can look up all this shit yourself. They got the sources and publications for all this shit about to go down. 4,000 years of maternal ancestry in ancient Egypt, illuminated by mitochondrial genome sequences. Some same scholars on it. Presentation and speech. You can look this up yourself, review, and look at the video again. Facial depiction of Roman period mummy with portrait of Fayum Oasis. Mummy of Vizier Homotep. They got a mummy of Vizier Imhotep. Interdisciplinary study and restoration work. It's shit going on, restoration work of mummies that you don't know nothing about, that they're not even finished with, but it's about to go down. Now, and they tell you about their project partners. What it says, Reese, Engelhorn, Moose, Manham. So it's a bunch of Italians, Germans, people from all over. It's a few Africans. Now, who's doing all this research, Chief X? Right here, family. The link is in the description. The URAC Research Center. What do they specialize in, Chief X? URAC Research is a private research center headquartered in Bolzano, South Tyrol, which I think is Italy. The center has 11 institutes in 5 centers. URAC Research has more than 800 partners spread across what? 56 countries. So it's not no biased shit. It's people in 56 countries working on this research. It gets in depth. URAC Research collaborates with international organizations such as the Alpine. They collaborate with a bunch of people, right? Okay, here it is, and we're going to end this video and make it smaller. Research infrastructure, the ancient DNA laboratory. This is what they specialize in. They have not just a DNA laboratory. This research laboratory specifically specializes in the ancient DNA. Ancient DNA laboratory is used by the Institute for Mummies and the Iceman for molecular analysis of ancient human remains. Research study on the Otzi, the Iceman, and this is just what they specialize in for. So I put these links in there. You guys can go through that yourself, make a video about it, and warn people. It's coming. Then I'm just going to sit back and laugh. Next year I'm going to be like this. Somebody said come February, something's coming out. So come February, which is not long from now, I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be laughing so hard I'm going to fall out my chair like I just almost did. What you say, Sapphire? It has always been people from different countries. How come they are biased and not for themselves? Why on earth they would be biased to currently living Egyptians, right? I think did you give me this link in the chat? We said data was leaked. and it is not good for Team Hotep. I'm telling you right now, niggas better say, you know what? I didn't say that shit. I was wrong, man. You know, hey, niggas better apologize and bend the knee right now. I'm telling you, just get out the way. Then you can laugh at people who still held on with everyone. My lucky day, I missed the first live. What up? Two Egyptian mummies that rested next to each other for nearly 4,000 years are not full brothers, but rather half brothers. I'm not sure. What's up, Chef Fry? All right, I just wanted to make this short, little, brief, little video and let people warn people to what's pending. Brace yourself. I'm out.